It's Christmas, it's 2020, let's make face masks. So, let's get together some nice Christmassy fabric. First of all, let's cut out our pieces of fabric, so I will hopefully stick a link to some kind of template somewhere below in the description if you want to follow along with this, but I might not. You want to cut out a mirror image of your fancy Christmassy fabric, and then a couple more of your more plain fabric for the insides. Now we've got all the fabric together, lay them face side together, like so. Now we gotta sew, so let's set up the sewing machine. Wind up the bobbin, thread the machine, do. Oh, this takes a while. Right, so now you've done that, let's sew those together. Quick little straight stitch down along the curved side. And trim off the excess fabric either with plinking scissors like I've done, or you can just cut some little triangles out if you don't have one of those. Then gonna pop the outside layer and the inside layer together like so. And then once those are all snugly fitted together, pop the inner layer in as well. And pin it all so it doesn't move when you sew, because that is always sad. Then you're going to attach one of these little bits at the top here, which is what I use for the nose wire. So how do you make one of those? You cut some wire to roughly the length of over the bridge of your nose. I go with twice that length because my wire is a bit flimsy and it needs the extra strength. So then you're going to cut a piece of fabric that's twice the length of your piece of wire with a little bit extra as well for seam allowance. Sew that together as close to the wire as you possibly can, just to keep it trapped in a nice snug little place. And then pin that on the top of your face mask, like so. So now it's time to sew it up. So what you can do is pop it into the sewing machine, do a nice stitch around the outside, and then realise that you've managed to accidentally unthread your machine and you've done absolutely nothing. Starting again, sewing around the outside. Be extra careful around the nose bit, take it nice and slow. You want to keep the wire so that it is sewed in the right place. So take your time with that bit, and make sure you leave a little bit of a gap at the bottom so that you can turn it the right way around. Trim off excess fabric, both along the curved edge and on the corners. And then once that is done, it is time to turn it right side around. So it was a bit fiddly, especially when you didn't leave quite enough space, but it's fine, we can do this. And then to get the corners nice and neat, give it a little poke with a crochet hook or a knitting needle or back of a spoon, just something nice and pokey. And there you go, face mask. So sew up the little hole that you used to turn it the right way around, and then fold over the ends and pin them down, because this is what we're going to attach the ear elastics into. So now you've got a top stitch all the way around, so kind of like what we just did before, but this time on the top. Now cutting out some elastic, so you want to cut it to twice the length plus a little bit extra for seam allowance, so that you can loop it around all nicely. Thread it through using a safety pin to help you. Then you want to fold it over so that it's nice and neat and leave a little bit of excess room. You probably need to play around with the exact length that you need to leave depending on the size of your head, but that's fine. You can just do a few quick stitches and check it fits and then unstitch it and redo it. Once you know how big it needs to be, it's much easier. And then pull the elastic through so that the little seam is on the inside, and put a couple of stitches at the top on each side just to hold the elastic in place. And there you go, face mask. It's all Christmassy, get to wear it this year for Christmas, and hopefully you won't need it next year, so woohoo!